Greetings! I'm Septum Sin, and you're watching Septum Sin vs. the World. Today, on our Halloween spectacular, I'm doing something different. I have a few rules for this channel, and one of them is I tend to deal with physical media, and physical media only. I usually only review things that, well, I have a physical copy of. Well, I was asked to check this particular film out and do a review, so this may be a one-off, it may be something I do on occasion, but I'm usually interested when I see smaller creators, and I was intrigued. I like small creators that do horror films. If you haven't seen my Skeleton Key series, definitely check that out. I have a couple other smaller film projects that I like to take a look at, and I'll be talking about some of those in the future. Now, this particular one is a film by Mr. Salerno, I think it is, called Dark Side of the Womb. This is a horror film that is about these two brothers who were born, one born somewhat normal, one not so normal. And when the supposed normal brother gets killed, we have to follow the story of the slightly abnormal brother, whose name is Ed. And also, we are addressing the relationship between his brother's killer having his brother's head transplanted, and the wife of the brother's killer, and of course the creepy mother. Out of this, there are a couple of things that I did find fairly entertaining. The story kept me interested, except, well, I'm going to get to the ending in a bit. But what really did keep me interested in the story was the acting qualities of both the person who plays Ed and the person who plays Jesse, which is of course, Ed being the brother and Jesse being the killer. Their actual acting jobs I really enjoyed. Ed put a lot. The character of Ed, there was a lot of energy in that. I felt a lot of fun with that character. And of course, Jesse, he plays the good psychotic killer with the grin on his face. And he does it better than I do. I used to do a great one of those things. I just don't have the body type for it anymore. But psychosis is an interesting thing to talk about when it comes to killers. Most of them are psychotic. Yet, believe it or not, in real life, most psychotic people are not killers. So, with that, that's really where I would say the greatness of this film comes from. There are a few other interesting things. I mean, you kind of get intrigued with the killer and the interactions between the people. You've got a lot of scarred mentally individuals who try to get put back together again for the healing process. Now, the plot, getting into the lower points, the plot is confusing as all get out. I wasn't certain what I was watching. I mean, I'm not going to try and ruin it, but there are parts when the killer is talking that I'm still trying to think, what's going on with the timing of this? When did this event happen? Or what's going on over here? And the ending, I made this face doing. And it was like that for pretty much the entire ending, and that's because my mind just couldn't quite wrap around it. I guess that's really where the title comes from, both the fact that you have these two twins born, and then that desire to go back in. as a whole, for what it is, it's entertaining and it is worth a watch. If you can find a chance to catch it on streaming, catch it. Enjoy, especially if you like these types of low-budget B-horrors. It certainly is not my lowest rated by any means, and if I came across it cheap, I probably would get a hold of it. Like I say, it does have some entertainment value to it, and as far as these types of slasher psychological movies go, it is something of interest. So, with that being said, I would probably rate this one about a 6 out of 10, because it did entertain me the whole way through. It did not lose my interest, and though I had a hard time wrapping my mind around things, I do think with a couple of edits and maybe a little bit of explanation here, a little bit more exposition, those could be fixed. You could get it up to a 7, definitely. With that is my review of Dark Side of the Womb. I really have not found it offered anywhere just of yet, but if you do run across it, I would definitely recommend you checking it out. If anything, it is a curiosity worth exploring. So with that, I'm Septum Sen, and you've been informed about this particular movie. So, if you like my reviews, of course, please click thumbs up. Sharing my website would be great. I do enjoy getting more and more viewers. Subscribe, that works too. What did you think? If you've seen this movie, please talk to me about it a little bit. I've read some reviews of it. I'm going to try and post a review of another person who has reviewed this, a slightly different take, a little bit more in depth into it. I actually read this after I watched the film so that I could get a better handle on it, and I think his review actually gives a lot more insight as to what's going on. So I'm going to make sure they'll put a link to his review in the comment section, well, not comment section, in the in the section. So please feel free to comment. I'm always interested in people's opinions, and of course I will see you on the next one. Take care.